Hello and welcome to Movie Theater Time Machine in the Lobby Cast here. Today we take a look back and we go to where was in 1997 during that summertime when things were a little bit different, things were a little bit good. Movie tickets cost $4.75 on average in America. Minimum wage was $5.15. Joining me to talk about the great one, Good Burger, and here to show up.
Woo, he got it down.
As you would do. My man Brian from the Beeline Podcast. How you doing, man?
Doing great, bro. It's an honor to be here. That's right. People, what's good? What's happening? Yo, listen, Nick, thanks so much for having me on, man. I'm very glad to come on and talk about, especially Good Burger. Ooh, man,
Yeah,
we talked about that quite a bit.
I mean, I had to, and I had this plan. I'm like, how am I going to invite Brian back? Like, I had the honor of being on the Beeline Podcast for the first episode in 2023.
Yes.
And I mean, we went through a whole bunch of fun stuff. And
yeah,
I was watching the preview for Megan, and all I could think of was you.
Yo, listen, man, didn't that turn out to be like one of the biggest shocks? Because even on that episode, we were talking about it because we recorded that 3 weeks before it came out. And I was saying, I don't know, whatever, like I'm half and half, I'll see it whenever. And now all of a sudden it turns out to be like the best horror movie of all time and stuff. Listen, bro, that's crazy. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it.
I haven't seen it yet either. I haven't seen it yet. The only one was the meme that I sent you that I saw.
Bro, people are saying I've heard people say this. It's one of the best horror movies that they've ever seen.
Really?
I'm saying, like, comparing it to like a Chucky, I'd have to see it for myself. But it's got really, really good numbers. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes, everything. It's crazy, bro. It's always those weird ones that be killing it. Like, you'd be like, I ain't seeing that, and then you see it and you're like, what the hell?
And
I love that.
That was the thing, though, is this movie was said to be, it was the weirdest movie. Good Burger, no one wanted to see it.
Yeah.
It was put up, it was a joke of like, oh, a Nickelodeon movie? Like, who's gonna listen to that? The kids aren't gonna like it, the parents aren't gonna like it. Lo and behold, we're still talking about it.
See, you got to remember, Good Burger was part of all that. You know what I mean? And all of that was huge, man. That was our Saturday night. That was our Saturday Night Live. That was our Max TV. You know what I mean?
I mean, I really think for a while it was beating Saturday Night Live.
Bro, listen, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Good. Kenan and Kel and them, and that's where they really got their start, was when Kenan was in movies. I can't really remember what Kel was doing before that. I know Kenan was in like Heavyweights. He was in a couple of other movies, but I don't remember Kel.
Oh my god, I forgot it. Was that the one with the fat camp?
Oh man, I love Heavyweights. Man.
Yes,
that's one of my favorite Disney movies. That's Disney too.
Yeah.
Heavyweights, one of my favorite movies.
Snacks in.
Yeah.
Let me show you what to do.
Yep. Yeah. When they had to dance or whatever. Yo, listen, you about to make me remember. You got me remembering stuff now, going back in the day, right? There was just off topic. There was this movie, that I used to watch when I was younger or whatever. I think it came out in like the 80s, late 80s, and maybe like early 90s, very early 90s. And it was a movie about summer camp. And it was like these kids, they had like, it was like two teams, and one were like the pigs or something like that, and they would squeal like pigs, and then the other, they had to face the wolves, and then it was like a battle. I forgot what that movie was called. Listen, but it was so damn good. And it's funny because Heavyweights kind of reminds me of it, because remember, Heavyweights had Ben Stiller in it when he was the crazy diet. Listen, movies used to have so much character, bro. Like, it used to be so fucking fun. But it's like now, you know what I mean? Like, we talking about, Good Burger, and like these are classics, The reason why it was fun, because we're watching a movie about fast food, with just goofy kids in a fast food restaurant, and they made it like one of the greatest movies of all time. Like, literally.
Have you ever worked in fast food?
The closest I got to fast food was, my first job was Auntie Anne's Pretzels. at
Okay. Yeah.
Jersey Gardens Mall in Elizabeth,
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
First job, me and my brother got hired together, making pretzels, bro. And from there, I never want to do. I don't do shit
No,
else.
dude. No. I worked at a Wendy's
Oh yeah,
into the town of Somerset, Massachusetts.
got
And
you.
there was a little tiny sleepy town about 5 miles wide. And I mean
Yeah,
there wasn't really much going on, but everyone hung out at that Wendy's.
yeah.
It was the Wendy's that had that weird buffet salad bar that nobody
That
remembers
used to be
anymore?
so damn good.
Pudding, right? You know,
Yeah,
it
man.
had that amazing thing. And
Yeah,
they trained me on the cash register, and I immediately embodied the character of Ed.
got you, got you.
You know, and immediately like, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Like, and just embodied it. But this whole movie itself, I mean, you know, I want to say for movie theater time machine fans, I mean, who have been here quite a while, this
Yeah.
is the very first movie myself, Kaz, Dan, and Joss reviewed together. And it was the
Oh,
jail
really?
episode. I mean, this is going back many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Many years. So, I mean, I'm not going to allude back to that too much because that is one of those episodes that even still myself, I like, what's your podcast about? I introduced that episode first.
So what did you were talking about jail?
No. Good Burger.
Oh, Good Burger. So you talked about Good Burger on your first episode.
The first episode where the four of us were together. We did many episodes before that.
Got you.
We
Okay,
did
got you.
many
Oh,
episodes
wow.
before that, but it was the first time. It was all four of us got together, and another co-host we had at the time couldn't make it. So it was just the
Got
four
you.
of us. Like, okay, let's kind of see what it just. Oh my god, it was the electricity in the room in
Yeah,
that
man.
studio was amazing. But like when you think about it, like, we've all worked at a place where there's always been an Ed,
Oh man.
and then there's always been a Dexter.
Got you. Yeah.
At some
Like
point, if
the
you don't know, like, oh no, I never worked with a Dexter before. You're probably the Dexter.
probably. I
You're
don't know who would be
probably
in my crew, man. I mean, as far as especially with like food and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
food was always difficult to work in for me because I'm not. I'm polite, you know what I'm saying? I'm a kind
yeah,
guy or whatever, but I don't
yeah.
have a lot of patience. And just doing them damn pretzels, man. People used to come with their goofy ass orders. This used to be the best. Yo, listen, this is one of the things we did like a short on this before about me and my brother when we worked at the pretzel shop. Because it would be funny because people would come and you'd have the people that would say, hey, what kind of sodas do you have? And you'd be like, oh, I got a lemonade, iced tea,
Yeah.
root beer, Coca-Cola, and Sprite. And then they say, do you have orange? Yeah, I just left that out. I just left it out because I knew you wanted it. Like, we used to get shit like that all the time, yo. It used to be so annoying. Like when people would come and it was closing, and that's why I said I can't imagine what like real fast food is.
Yeah.
But when it was closing time, we'd be like, oh, well, you'd have the stuff. Hey, we just have what's here. And you say, hey, well, what do you have? You say, oh, we just got a couple of originals, a cinnamon, and a couple raisins. That's it. You have any jalapenos in the back?
Yeah. Where it was one of those kiosk stands, right?
Oh no, actually it was a full blown thing. It was what was crazy? They had two of them. We had two of them in Jersey Gardens Mall. Like it was two big whole things. Like it was a whole like
Really?
restaurant. Yeah, they would make the pretzels on the side. It was the girls that used to work. It used to be like 7 of us working at a time.
Yeah.
And they'd be making the pretzels, rolling them or whatever. That was the part I never did that shit. I got burns on me to this day from
Me
doing the
too.
oven and taking
Me too.
pretzels out.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. But
Yeah.
people used to be so picky with shit. Like we get people that would be like, "Oh, can you just dip the pretzel on the bottom in the butter and then spray the butter on top?" Like, listen, bro, just take this damn pretzel and get out of my face. All this shit.
I mean, I remember very clearly there were these people that would come in, and a guy like, and I'm not body shaming at all.
Yeah, oh, listen,
But
hey, it is what it is.
guy, like this guy would come in, was a big dude.
Yeah,
He said, I want to get 2 triple cheeseburgers with bacon and extra cheese, but I want a small Diet Coke because I'm watching my weight.
yeah, all right, bro. You
And
watching that?
and you feel like, I'm like, okay, fine. And like in my head, I learned in that job, like in the back of my head, I'd be like, okay, I'm laughing like heck, but I was probably like,
Yeah.
hey, sure, right? And then like in the corner of my eye, there would always be two people who would just drop everything and just leave.
Oh,
Like
really?
they just they couldn't like they knew they couldn't hold in their laughter at that point.
Oh, got you. Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
I'm out. Like they
yeah.
yeah, I'm good. And then it'd be on their way. And to me, like you're right, there's always that Ed who always kind of has that thing. And I mean, the thing that I remember with this movie, there's jokes in this movie as an adult you did not see as a kid.
Oh yeah, that's like almost anything you watch when you get older. Like you
Right?
start to see all the little hidden little, remarks and the smirks and
And you're
stuff like
like,
that.
hey,
You get it later, like, and you're like, damn, I watched this shit when I was younger. Like, no wonder I am how I am. Like
yeah,
subliminal as hell. Like
yeah, it hits the back of your head. You're like, wait, like
for real.
it's ready to go off there.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, you see all that shit. Like we learned, like, you was hearing all that stuff about playing. I don't know why, but me and my cousins, we used to record music. So it
Yeah,
was like we had got to a point at one point we used to go to studios and just be
yeah,
goofy and play shit backwards. And I remember they had the stuff on YouTube we were showing like Britney Spears' song. Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time
yeah.
was if you played it backwards, it says Sleep With Me, I'm Not Too Young. And you know the crazy part about it is
What?
the shit said it. Yeah, you never heard of that? Like when you
No.
played the records, it used to be like a big thing back in the day. Like, they were saying, like,
Yeah,
rock music, if you play
yeah,
the record backwards, it'll be like the devil speaking to you. But
yeah.
yeah, that shit. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a logical reason, but it is very interesting how some of them you really make out a lot of stuff that's said in it.
Yeah.
And
I knew about one for years was like the Beatles song number 9. Like when you play it backwards, it says "Turn Me On, Dead Man."
woo, see,
Yeah, yeah. And
that's
I
a
knew
hard
that because I
coincidence.
tried it, and I had I had a record, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying this. Like, "Turn Me On, Dead Man." I'm like,
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, man.
oh damn.
Yeah, we used to play that in the studio. I remember my boy Show Off. He had a Show Off. That's crazy. I just thought his name is Show Off. That's his rap name. But
Yeah,
we had he had a big TV on the wall, and we used to
yeah,
just we record, we freestyle, do whatever. And then we
yeah,
sit down and be like, "Yo, listen to this shit," and he put on a song backwards and just play it. We just be listening to it like, "What the hell?" It was a bunch of them back in the day. Yeah,
yeah.
so that subliminal shit is real, man.
And there's so much in that with 1997 that I mean, there's some of the days before YouTube, just
Yeah,
at the
man.
peak, of our I don't even remember if MySpace was a thing at that time.
No, no, not 97. I mean, that stuff didn't start coming out until like, I mean, the later 2000s. You had
Yeah,
MySpace and
you're
stuff
right.
like
Yeah,
that. 97 and 98. To me, to be honest, 97 for me.
yeah,
96, 97, and 98 are probably, if I had to really pick, I'd say like the greatest years of my life. Like, I that was when I was at the height of being a kid. We were
yeah,
fourth, fifth grade, sixth grade. We used to go out and have fun and play with all the neighborhood kids. And I had a really, really, really good childhood, man.
yeah,
It's crazy because I hear about
yeah,
so many traumatic situations with people that I meet and stuff now. A lot of people have really like rough stories and rough upbringings. We weren't rich or anything, but we were comfortable. I mean, not even comfortable. We were kind of broke, but we still were able to like enjoy life. Like we went and did a lot of different things, had a lot of different experiences. Never crazy travels, but just like Seaside Heights, and
yeah,
we went to Pennsylvania every now and then. Like it was just like we just enjoyed life. Like it wasn't anything bad. Um, but I
I
used to remember doing all that stuff, man. But
yeah.
1996, 97, and 98, I loved life, man.
I agree with you, and I remember a lot of things like my sister's older than I am,
Yeah.
and she used to take us out, and we used to go. There was this I can never remember the name of the road when I was on the spot, but it was a few towns over from us. There's a
Yeah.
there's a road that goes very straight and suddenly goes down like this.
Oh, wow.
Like you can't tell that it was going to go down really quickly,
Yeah.
really quick. And we used to do this where we'd take friends and we just like, okay, like we'd pile up some of my friends in her car. And she
Mm.
knew I knew it was coming, and I knew that in the last minute, what I would do, I just grab onto the dash and then look back. And like
Like you're going on a ride.
it's like grab, I look back, I'm like,
Oh wow.
this is I'm like, what are you doing? And they're here in the back, holy crap! Like, and then he just ease our way down, dying laughing. It's
Bro.
just, but it was there were many things that we did. I know that sounds super sadistic of me, but there are many things that we did, and I remember there was this arcade that we had up here. It was kind of like a
Oh
Chuck E.
man,
Cheese,
arcades. Yeah,
but it was
arcades were the shit, man.
you realize as a kid that it was like the little kids casino, but
Yeah, yo, for real. Actually, that's a good freaking that's a good comparison because it really is like that. Like even to think about it now, I loved arcades, man.
me too.
You miss it. They're still around. Like you don't consider it, but like Dave
Yeah,
and Buster's is an arcade. Like
yeah,
Chuck E.
yeah,
Cheese is an arcade. Like not the same kind of, but it is the same thing pretty much. But just random arcades, man. You remember going to the movies and playing in arcade stuff before you go? Listen, it was
exactly.
like Disneyland, yo.
Exactly. I mean, that's where I mean with this, it was like the pinnacle of time. I remember with one of my very best friends at the time, we went to see this movie, and there was this little tiny hole in the wall arcade
Mm,
that was, it was right around the time when they were changing to automatic change machines. So this
yeah.
was one you had to go to the guy behind the counter who looked like Fat Tony from The Simpsons in my head. But still, and he just like, and you had to beg, and he's like, if you, and the sign in the back said, if you ask nicely, I'll make you change.
Damn.
I was like, can you please give me quarters? I have $2 here. The guy had the cigar, and he goes, well, thank you for asking nicely. Here you go.
Creeper.
Yeah,
That
it
was a
was just
creeper.
creepy as hell. But and again, that's maybe a little more nostalgic than I need to be. But
Listen, that's
yeah,
one of the best things about
yeah,
remembering. A
yeah,
lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of talked about this not too long ago, but the thing about like the nostalgia and having good memories to look back on, the importance of it is because I went through last year, I went through one of the scariest points of my life as far as
hmm,
like dealing with like health and stuff like that or whatever. It was my first time ever really dealing with anything serious. And I keep telling this story, but literally it's crazy because I was like, waking up shaking at night. Like I was like, oh, I was scared of shit. Like I didn't know what was going on. But it turned out to be not even that big a deal. But literally, I was petrified. But the one thing that I found comfort in was remembering old stuff, like remembering old school stuff.
yeah,
And when I'm talking about like, shows I used to watch as a kid, like if you go on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that, or even Facebook, and you see they'll have like the back in the day, like some of them will even play like, old school commercials that were
yeah,
coming on
yeah,
back in the day and,
yeah, yeah,
previews. And
yeah.
I love that shit, man, because it brings me back to my childhood. I had such a good childhood. I had so much fun. I remember the Christmas days. I remember just the staying home from school days. I remember playing pretend by myself in the house, like I'm fighting Buffy and shit and all that stuff. We used to do all of that. We had a lot of imagination,
We
and it's
did,
just
we did,
that
yeah,
comfort, bro. That
yeah, yeah,
comfort, that
yeah,
nostalgia.
yeah,
Yeah, it'll
and
save your life, man.
there is a lot of nostalgia with this because you also get one of the most underrated. And as many times I've seen this movie since our first review to now, as I watch this on loop and comfort, and whenever I get a chance to,
Bro.
seeing clips on Netflix, or it's still on
Yeah.
Netflix, by the way, folks. But with Good Burger, like you get one of the last known appearances in the '90s of Sinbad.
Yeah, Sinbad, yo.
You
One of the most slept on comedians, actors of everything of all time
hey,
in one of
I
my
mean,
at least one of them.
yeah, and he plays the character of Mr. Wheat, who is dressed like Shaft,
Yeah.
and has this great line in him. And I mean, I memorized this movie. Somebody like, I give you a test. Why do I give you a test on the last day of school? Because your mind never sleeps.
And then Kanan over there sleeping.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, man?
Yeah. Wait,
Amen.
what? Yeah. And then he calls him Shaft on his way out, and then he like,
You have a nice day, Shaft.
Shaft.
Yeah.
I
One of the
like
one
it.
of
Hey, let's go Shaft.
he was like the fall guy. He had his car got messed up. He had what's it called? What else did he do? He had the hamburger fall in the car at the end. His mailbox got broke. He was always had some shit going on with him.
Let's be real. I think he kind of deserved the hamburger at the end.
Yeah.
Like he kind of deserved it because it's like, okay, he ran over the mailbox. Okay, like his car got messed up, but the kid had no license.
Yeah.
No license or anything, or what was he gonna do? Like that was the weird part. And he had the actor who played Roger and Sister.
Oh, that's Marquise Houston. That's my boy. He's a singer. He's incredible, bro.
They're like they get their car accident. He just held tie tails right out of the damn movie.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I did too. I ain't going down with you.
Thank you for saying the name too, because I totally forgot what his name was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite singers, man. He's Marquis Houston from the group Immature. One of the Batman from Immature. He's an incredible singer, yo. But yeah, I forgot he was in it. I forgot that whole part. He was in it.
Yeah,
he was driving with him when he crashed. In and out.
A lot of the movie goes in and out there, but then you got the greatest supervillain of any kids movie, Kurt, the manager of Mondo Burger.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, listen, you want to hear what's funny? This is funny as hell. We're talking about this right now. I literally was inside earlier, and my girl, we've been doing more stuff, like we're working out and stuff like that or whatever. Now trying at least, but we kind of just like wanted to get something to eat. We didn't want to mess around. We wanted a burger. We were like, we're just gonna go and get something. But we've been trying to save money, so we're like, okay, I'm just gonna make a burger, but I want a burger. Like, I don't want no little crappy little McDonald's burger. Like, so I went to the store, bought some stuff to make burgers or whatever. As I was putting it together, I put the shredded lettuce and I hooked it up, like onion, tomato, and we put it on the bun and shit like that or whatever. And I was thinking about that scene in when Kenan first applied for the job. The first job he got was Mondo Burger. He didn't get Good Burger right away. So he was over there they were all bun, patty, sauce, assembled. And then they got the Kenan, and he was over there struggling. And then he said he had the pickles. He had 5 pickles. And I was making the burger, and I was trying to put the shit on there fast so it didn't all fall off. I put a whole bunch of onions, all that shit on it, and I tried to slap that shit on there before it fell off. And I just thought about Kenan making that fucking burger. That big ass hockey puck meat sandwich. I was like, oh man, these guys over here making Mondo burgers. He said, how are we gonna compete with the Ed sauce? He said, just make them bigger.
Make them bigger.
Fucking craziness.
Just to try it. There is a great thing.
Fucking dinosaur burgers.
I use this all the time with one of the lads there with Kurt says, you forget about your family. Mondo Burgers. I am your mother, father, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt. Kurt must look awfully strange naked.
Who said that? Who uttered what Kurt was talking?
Him. He is the degenerate.
They sat there and panned the camera right to the snitch. He snitched hard. He couldn't wait to snitch.
And that
snitched his whole life.
That is the beauty of Kenan Thompson, because the man does not even have to say a word.
Yeah, he's funny. Kenan is funny, man.
So funny just on his own, just by facial feature. When he goes back, he's like,
"Yeah, I'm sorry, I uttered." Yeah, Kenan is funny as hell. He's always been funny. That's like I said. That's why Kenan and Kel are one of the greatest comedic duos of all time. Like, man, and then talking about Kenan, but Kel, man, just to be able to hold up that character throughout the whole movie to the progression. Remember at the very beginning, like he's having the dream and he's sitting there at the restaurant, he starts floating and he wakes up. He's sleeping in his clothes, and then the alarm goes off, and he picks it up and says, "Whoa, a clock."
When he showered in the thing, I'm a dude.
Shower with his clothes on.
He's a dude.
Bro, every part of the movie is it. I let my kids, I got my kids are 11 going on 12 years old, man. I sat there and showed my kids that movie like 4 years ago. I think I showed my son earlier. I showed my daughter like 4 years ago. When I tell you to this day, man, like I was telling you on my show, like my son literally watches on Netflix. He watches Kenan and Kel. He's always watching. Like it's one of his favorite shows. He's always watching. It's so good.
That is the genius of the show. Like they're
so damn good.
Comedic timing, and I mean they've obviously been together and they've worked out a lot. But I mean, I've told you on your show, like one of my favorite episodes is when Kenan is dating the girl and she has the special sweatshirt.
The sweater.
And they destroy the shit out of it.
Yeah, and just keep going and just never stop. But it's
when it's deep fried.
And Kel, is it that one and the one from the I think it was the first season still with that when they had the Thanksgiving episode and Kel kept messing up the turkey and he sat there and literally ate the whole damn turkey and he ripped the thing off it or whatever and just ate the whole thing and then they tried to take the damn deli meat from it. Then they finally ordered a turkey and they were like, "Oh, we're safe," and they ordered the turkey and they came to the house and it was a freaking alive turkey just walking in the house. So it was funny as hell, man. It was just constant comedy, but it wasn't overdone. It was just it was hitting where it was supposed to hit, yo.
Yeah, and
it's so good.
This up. I mean, I don't think the episode is on Netflix yet, but you got to look up Kenan and Kel's final episode because the final moments just say it all.
Bro, listen, man. That's one of those shows you don't want to watch. Like you don't like with me with sad show like on the end of shows, like especially ones that you love, man. And remember how like because that shit used to hit you in the heart. Like you know, Fresh Prince is the final episode, and Martin's final episode. Like even it's a big one. The final episode that I almost cry. Like I'll be a dead ass. The Office, man. The Office's last episode, bro. Emotions like
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Like, I thought when Michael Scott left, I'm like, okay, this is the end of it.
For real.
At the very end, and it's the quote from Andy Bernard that always gets me still to this day. I wish some people could tell me when we were in the good old days when we were in it.
Bro, listen, man. That's how I feel about 1997. Yeah. That's how I feel about stuff like that.
That hit me because, I mean, I like you, like me, I am a nostalgic 90s kid at heart.
Oh, at heart, all day.
Every single thing about it. I was at work today and I heard Smash Mouth come on.
And hey, now, you're an all-star. Put the damn
I'm sitting at the desk. I'm like this. I'm like, yeah. Listen. Like enjoying myself. My boss is looking. She's laughing at me. She's like, "Oh, yeah, it's a good song. It can't be that bad." I'm like, "You're a year older than me. I know you had this."
Yep, you had it. You had it. Just like another show that'll take you down memory lane. Watching it, Malcolm in the Middle. Yes. You watch Malcolm in the Middle because it's one of those shows that plays like the old school songs like that, like because I'm in too deep, man. I'm trying to keep all the fun in my head instead of going under. I love that thing, all of that stuff, man. I love it's like that nostalgia, and that's another great show. Like it's just there's so many, man.
One of my favorite things that I like to do with that is I have this headcanon in my mind. In the show they never say the family's name.
Who in Malcolm in the Middle?
They never say the family's last name. Ever.
Wow. Yeah. Lois, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, I never noticed that.
Do. So my headcanon is this is post Breaking Bad.
Man, y'all on that crazy conspiracy theory thing.
But I'm not going conspiracy. I'm just my headcanon. This is Walter White's family after he escaped, and he's living that life. That's why they never heard his last name. Stupid stuff. But my favorite episode of Malcolm in the Middle of all time is the dad. They find out Hal's doing work in the yard, and he finds that there's an old bomb shelter in the yard.
Oh yeah.
He finds there's a full bar and a picture of JFK, so he hides underneath in the bomb shelter. Gets blitz drunk out of his mind and talks to the JFK.
Yeah. Hal was like one of the best. To be honest with you, I stopped watching Breaking Bad when I first started watching it because I had Bryan Cranston as Hal, and I was like, wait a minute, he's not funny. I don't want to watch it. And this
No,
guy
he's
was
not
like,
funny.
give it a chance, and I was like, okay.
Total,
And then I started watching Breaking
yeah,
Bad.
yeah, total
But yeah,
difference here. So we're gonna take a quick break for a moment. We're
okay,
gonna come back. I'm gonna do a little bit of sponsorship, folks. We're gonna
awesome.
come back and we're gonna have more of the conversation with my man Brian. We'll be back in
Yes.
one moment, okay? See y'all soon. And that was our sponsor today, man. And thank you all for once who help us out, big and small, whatever you do, much appreciated.
Always.
Before we continue, I want to remind you, movietheatertimemachine.com. Spread it everywhere you can because it helps us out.
There you go.
So, I mean, we're talking about with nostalgia and, things with, and there's so much to pick apart with Good Burger that has the nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
This also has my favorite cameo out of all of this is Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq is in everything, man. Shaq lives. He's still in everything to this day. It's crazy, like how much that guy has accomplished, man. One of the probably smartest businessmen in the entertainment industry of all time. One of them for sure.
I mean, he also he just genuinely has fun with everything that he does.
Yeah, like he enjoys everything.
And I remember back then when they had, you remember MTV Cribs?
Oh yeah.
Where they're showing
Awesome
all
show.
this stuff, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, this is my pool. This is this." It's like, "Yeah, Shaq's gonna take you around the mansion. We call it the Shaxon."
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And it's probably on YouTube or somewhere on Daily Motion, but it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
And I remember his last year he was playing basketball. He was with the Boston Celtics.
Oh damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had one. It was just a 1-year contract. He's just gonna do one more and he's out. And then there was one of these dudes. I cannot remember the guy's name, but it was a little dude, very small compared to NBA standards.
Yeah.
You got Shaq and you got this little guy, and he was like 5'7", I think, a little bit shorter than me.
Not Muggsy Bogues.
No.
You talking about not Spud McKenzie?
No, it was Ray something. It was
Yeah, I don't know basketball. I know Shaq.
But yeah,
I know Shaq and Michael Jordan and people like that and shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Famous people.
Like some random other members I remember, but the dude put on Shaq's shoes and walked out into the court with him.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can still play like Shaq. And then, he's got Shaq's shoes. Shaq walks out barefoot on the court and just stares at him with his hands to his hips, waiting. And then finally realized that the crowd just goes berserk, man. It was funny as hell.
Bro, listen, when I was in 6th grade, I was in a different middle school, and it was kind of like, it wasn't like the other middle school that I was brought up in, but I was my first year in 6th grade in middle school. I had a friend, his name was Marcus Crawford, I think that was his full name. And his dad, I can't remember exactly what he did or what he did with Shaq, but he was like his manager or I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But he brought in one of his shoes one day, and when I tell you that we're 6th graders, we're like 11 years old.
Yeah.
This guy's shoe, bro, literally was like, it was like holding like a friggin' bottle of soda or something. Like it was a giant. And when you think about it, because you see this guy on TV, you see these guys on TV, when you see these people in real life, like the Rock, all these big guys that you see on TV, when you see them, bro, they're fucking giants, bro. Like, it's crazy. You ever seen somebody who was, how tall are you, Nick?
I'm 6'2".
Oh, you're Nick, you're tall. Yeah, you're pretty tall.
Yeah, I'm a big guy, yeah.
My cousin was 6'2". My cousin was about 6'2".
Yeah.
And when I used to stand next to him, I'm 5'9". I'm not tall at all. But my cousin used to stand pretty tall. Yeah. When I think of like people who stand at like 7'2", and my cousin was towering me. I'm looking up to Greg like this, and then he would be towered over by somebody else. Like his uncle was like 7'4".
Yeah.
It's like living in a friggin' fairy tale or something, because it's like you're walking with giants, bro. People are fucking huge, man.
I agree.
It's crazy.
I agree, and I think, like, I can relate to this because you see Keenan and Kel who are just reacting to it like they're Dexter and Ed
Yeah,
but in reality, like, that's just I firmly believe still to this day that that's just Kel Mitchell reacting.
bro.
Like himself, what he there is like, okay, these
Seeing
guys,
Shaq.
he knows he's got to do the I'm a dude thing into the camera.
Yeah.
And he has to do that. I'm a dude, he's dude, she's dude. Well, like he has to do that thing, but it's their reaction, and it's just like going and hugging Shaq, and then Shaq's kind of like, "Yeah, I know you're paying me for this." And,
Yeah.
why'd you order Good Burger? Because I was hungry. and,
Yep.
and
I'm really, really hungry.
for that, you get my favorite line in the whole. I mean, the whole movie is like my whole favorite lines, but my
Yeah.
favorite line quoting in the whole movie is like when they come together and they haven't seen each other in a while. So they're like, "Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?"
Which one?
You know this line. "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And he goes, "Wait, who am I?
Oh
Wait,
yeah, 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 yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a famous actress or a pretty nurse."
There's yeah,
And Keenan doesn't have to say anything, looking at, "Why the hell would you be a pretty nurse?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. What? That was right after he hit him with the car and everything like that. He was like, wait a minute, I look familiar. And he was sitting there eating his lunch with him or whatever, sticking grapes in his nose, and and then he was, and then that was another good thing how he always showed you how Ed was like one of those people that you can't hate. Like, it's just like
No.
he was just too much because it's like
No.
when he finally found out, that he was the guy that, caused his accident for the car.
Yeah.
And he was like, he was pissed. He ain't want nothing to do with him, but then he sat down with him anyway. And
Yeah.
he was like, yo, what are you doing? I don't want to talk to you. Oh, whatever. And he just started playing with his grapes with his nose, eating them off his boogers. And that's how he found the Ed sauce. So it's like even small transitions like that in that movie, it's not just that it's a kiddie fun movie
No.
or goofy, it's
No.
still a good movie. That's what the thing
It's
is. It's crazy. It's like,
so solid. And even when they have the date night,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
tried to do this line with my wife. If we've had thousands of dates over the years. We've been together since we were 16, so
Oh
22
wow,
years now.
that's
And
awesome.
thank you. But I mean, thousands of dates. If there's ever a time, if she ever falls, I've always wanted to do the line that Kel does to Carmen Electra.
Mm.
Is your butt okay?
Oh, it's your butt.
Yeah.
I remember that was Carmen Electra. That was back when Carmen Electra was raunchy too. Like, the nudes and Carmen Electra was hot, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, they
Forget
used the
about that.
Roxanne because I think they had the rights to do the Roxanne song. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a
That was a
cover
big
of
song.
that. Just okay, let's do it this way. And just to see, yeah, she was beautiful in that movie. But what's
Yeah.
just, is your butt okay? Yeah, it's fine. It's okay, people. Her butt is fine.
It's fine.
And every guy in the theater, I remember this specifically. Every guy in that theater just kind of went, we agree with you, yeah. Like,
Yep, but it's fun.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Carmen Electra was hot, man. She was one of the hotties in the '90s, man. You see recently they just had that thing come out with
yeah.
I don't know what it was. Pamela Anderson is saying that when she was on Home Improvement, Tim Allen flashed her, and it's just like every 5 minutes is something new, bro. Like just
Seriously?
murdering. Yeah, it's just that was like recently. I think I'm like today. Recently, I saw it. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, it's just like it's just something new every 5 minutes, bro. It's like you're just
Yeah.
crushing our whole
I
childhood memories. Like these people are just being
honestly,
the
I try really hard not to pay attention to the news. I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
have
depressing.
I have a weather app on my phone, and there's one guy I watch on YouTube, Philip DeFranco, who
Gotcha.
he does news, but it's like in a 10 to 20-minute bit.
Oh, yeah, that's
And it's like, okay,
satisfying.
this happened, that happened, that happened, that happened, and like done. Like, okay, you're done, then you just walk away from it. I really, really try to not do that because you're right. Like there,
Constant.
I don't like. I don't like Tim Allen's comedy right now. I mean, as a person of who he is right now, like his comedy,
Yeah,
like, I'm kind of over that. But I remember as a kid watching Home Improvement.
yeah. Home Improvement was one of the big. I remember Home
Yeah,
Improvement was on, and it was one of those shows where you were like, "Damn, this show's never going to end." Like
yeah,
it just it seemed like it surpassed everything, but I
yeah.
don't think it was on that long. Like I don't even think they did 10 seasons. I think Home
I
Improvement was
think
like
you're right. Yeah, yeah,
7 or 8 seasons, but it seemed like they were always going to be on. Like they
yeah,
stayed on for a while.
yeah.
Roseanne was on for a while. I think they all those shows that like back in the day, they all did like 6 or 7 seasons. I don't think they ever went further than that.
It was,
But
yeah, 6 or 7 and you're out. I mean, then again, we got The Simpsons, which is still on the air
bro, The Simpsons is
somehow.
legend. You know, they're still not. I don't unless the longest running show of all time is Dallas.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I never watched that a day in my life. But
Yeah.
The Simpsons has had so many transitions. South Park is still on too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that
I
are they still
still
doing
love
new
South
episodes?
Park. Yeah, they're actually, I think by the time we're recording this, I think it's about 3 to 4 weeks.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Three,
Yeah.
3 to 4 weeks. I think they have new episodes coming out. And I mean, I will watch that still. I remember I was 13 years old and it was like when the TV ratings came out, like TVG,
Oh, TVG and all that stuff. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, it
yeah.
doesn't really matter anymore. But and it said TVMA, and I'm like, what could be MA or what could be mature audiences? And like, I had a cable box in my room, so you know, what people thought I was
You
rich.
watching it. Yeah.
We were
Oh,
not
yeah,
rich,
yeah.
you know, we were not rich. Like, okay, we'll just give him the cable box and we'll wire the cable box into the TV.
Yep.
You know, or something,
Please
and
do.
split. And then my dad split it and then put it like he just used the TV in the living room just to basically watch whatever they wanted.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like it wasn't really like you got a cable box in your room. Like no, that ain't it. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
that ain't it. But like I remember watching that and I remember turning that on for the very first time, and I'm like, what? Like, you know, Cartman trying to get a satellite dish coming out of his ass.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. Yo, South Park was great, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, the nostalgia flows from that one like Swiss cheese, man.
Bro, yeah, fifth grade was when I first like heard like the kids were
Yeah,
all always like they
yeah,
were talking about it because you know that's like one of the
yeah,
kids' biggest things. Like you want to see the stuff that's not, you know, you're supposed to watch or whatever. I was
yeah,
still watching
yeah,
all the classic, you know, cartoons, the
yeah.
Batman, Ninja
Oh,
Turtles,
yeah,
all of that shit.
yeah.
But when South Park came on, like I heard kids talking about it, I'm like, what the hell is this? And I think one of the first episodes of South Park that I watched was the one where he was the chicken lover or whatever and Cartman was being the cop, and he was being like cops, and he said, "Respect my authority," and he was beating the people with his legs and stick. That shit. And I remember being a kid, but I was laughing my ass off. My parents were laughing their ass off. We were all, and I used to tape them. I used to tape them I used to tape every damn thing. I was a taping kid.
Too.
I taped
Me
music
too. Yeah,
and I
yeah,
taped shows.
yeah,
If I still had, I used to tape King of Queens. I used to tape all of that shit.
yeah,
And I used to watch all of that
yeah.
stuff, bro.
Me
But it was
too. Me
so
too.
good,
And
man.
I think years ago, I remember my dad and I used to tape The Simpsons
Oh man, yeah.
for that, and I kick myself to this day still because we had the original commercials on
Yeah,
for a
isn't
while.
that
Like,
something? I
stuck
wish I would have taped like
on.
commercials, bro.
Yeah, and I see this. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube who occasionally does nostalgia commercials.
Yeah,
A
there's a
guy,
lot of them.
yeah, Doug Walker, known as the Nostalgia Critic. About once or twice a year, he'll do like an hour and a half episode.
Yeah, I love that
Like
shit. I
stuff
love
that
that shit so
you
much.
like that just unlocks something in your brain.
It does.
Yeah,
Like I said, man, that stuff was literally
yeah,
the reason why I got by one of the most challenging times in my life, yo. And I mean, not like it was
great.
magical. It's just
Yeah,
like you said, it's something about seeing something or you see
yeah,
something and you're like, wait a minute, like
yeah,
especially because since now I watch them, it's kind of
yeah,
harder to come by because I see a lot of stuff now. But especially if you go on like TikTok and you'll get the clips and they'll have the clips and they play that they
yeah,
play that song that yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
that shit?
Yeah.
They play that song and then they just have like the clips that'll just come on and it'll be just an old toy or it'll be
Yeah.
like an old commercial preview
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you watching it and then you see that one thing that you haven't seen in a long time. You're like, holy shit, I remember that. Like I remember the Disney character Ice Pops and stuff like that or whatever, the
Yes.
orange and the purple. And
Yeah.
bruh, it's a whole nother level. Like
Yeah.
you start thinking about things you
Yeah.
didn't think about before. It's
We still have a guy here locally who does that in the city that we
yeah.
live in, who does that. He has an ice cream truck and he has those ice cream pops still.
Man, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I wanted to ask him every time, like, where do you still get these? Because we
For
don't see
real.
these anymore.
A
Like we
lot of
don't
stuff is
see,
on Amazon, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably that. I mean, probably orders in bulk and then
Yeah,
sells it off and makes a ton of cash. But I mean, the
bro.
dude is like the nicest guy on the planet. And I
Yeah.
mean, he usually gets involved with city events and then just gives away the stuff and the city reimburses them. But
Ooh, that's a
like,
hustle right there.
oh yeah, yeah. No, it's really cool, man. It's really cool. And I mean, it does that. So, like, one thing I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
I don't want to go over all of this, but like, what is, and I can kind of guess one of them, but what is one of your favorite quotes from Good Burger?
From
That
Good
always,
Burger.
yeah,
Oh, listen,
yeah,
man. I gotta think. I want to think of one and let it be genuine, not just think one that I know in my head. Um,
yeah,
let's see. One of my favorite parts of Good Burger is when let me see. I love when he's making the sauce and they find out about the Ed sauce and everybody comes in, they're trying the sauce and stuff like that.
yeah,
That was like one of the best parts for me because I was like, okay, because at first I was like, yo, Mondo Burger got them, they're done. Like the lights
yeah,
are turned off,
right,
whatever.
yeah,
But I like when they had the reason to come back and everybody's in it and they play the I'm a dude,
yeah,
she's a dude, he's a dude. But also my favorite part is when they're dancing in the insane asylum. I love when they get down. But it was like the perfect dance scene. You know what I'm saying? Like they
yeah,
was getting down, and then Keenan had the idea to break out.
yeah.
So as far as my favorite quote, I don't know. I'd have to like really think about that. I love the part where he goes, "Whoa, a clock." I love that part. That shit makes me laugh to this day every time he does it. And also when he says, Dexter, why don't you just ask out Monique? She really like her. Yeah, how can I not like her? She's pretty, she's cuddly, and she's warm or whatever. And they said, well, just ask her out. I'm scared. Well, you scared? Well, Dexter's a chicken. Chicken. Mew. And then that's the best part about it because Dexter at first Dexter was like he was like all right, stop. He didn't correct him. He just said, all right, stop. He was like, yeah, I want to ask her out. She's pretty. And then Cal had to be dumb. Moo. And then that's what Dexter had enough of it and shit. He was like, listen, man, chickens don't moo. They cluck. Like he had to like collect his thoughts. Like you can tell that's why the acting is so damn good because you can tell like he was stuck in his thought about asking out Monique, and he got this idiot over here saying that a chicken moves, but he couldn't even correct him because he was stuck in his thought. But the second time he did it, he was like, all right, I gotta address this shit because it's too much.
No.
So yeah, that's probably gonna be one of them right there for me, man.
I'll tell you one that gets me still to this day. Every rewatch, I forget about it, and I had to spend the time to think about it myself. Is when they're sneaking into Mondo Burger, and Ed just becomes a parkour champion.
Oh yeah.
It
Jumping
just,
up on the thing.
oh, it's easy, man. You just go ahead, jump on the burger, shimmy up the fries, and just go ahead and just wedge your way up the straw. Dexter, man, what the? All right, here we go.
Then he just cut to him one and shit.
And then flashes back, and then flashes that wipe, and he's there, and he's still just doing it anyway. It just,
Yeah.
And so I gotta wrap up before we give all I leave the stage to you to do the whole Beeline plug.
Oh man, listen,
So
the
here, so
regular
I
stuff.
gotta ask now. Good Burger 2 is in production right now, but it's very tight-lipped.
Yeah, I
You
can't
know the
wait, man.
script, very tight-lipped in what's happening.
Yeah.
What do you think would be there?
Oh, man, listen, yeah, I definitely think that they're gonna do something. I mean, I can't see it going anywhere besides, Keenan and Kel are grown now. I
Yep.
think I think Keenan's gonna have the family, and Kel's gonna have the family, and it's gonna be the goofy Ed. Ed's gonna have a goofy wife, or maybe he'll have like a regular wife, and he's just still goofy or whatever, and Keenan will have his wife, and then something's gonna force them to come together, like maybe Mondo Burger will come back, or it'll be another, restaurant chain or something like that, and their kids will be involved, and then Ed and Dexter have to reunite to,
Yeah.
bring. Yeah, I can't see it going any other direction than that. And then it's like a new fast food
Yeah.
chain, and
Yeah.
like they have to work together, help their kids to defeat the new chain. It's got to be something similar. It's the thing that sucks about it a little bit. It's still going to be good. I think it's still going to be good, but the focal point is going to be like on their kid, or it's going to be like the different
Yeah.
character. I don't think it'll be like as much them, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It might surprise us and be them working at a fast food chain again. Like I don't think it'll be that, but it's going to be funny. Regardless of anything, it's going to be funny. I can't see it sucking.
Yeah. No, I was there day one.
Yep, me too.
On the first one. I will be there day two. I said this on your show. I'll repeat this again for Movie Theater Time Machine fans. That movie's not for the kids.
Nah, yeah.
It's for us.
That's for us, man. Yeah.
It's for us. And I mean,
Yeah.
I hope that they release it correctly. I would
Yeah.
love to see it. I mean, us being a movie theater podcast, where we celebrate movies when it was real to real. I would love to see it in a theater again, because that's one of those you need the people around you.
Yeah, it will be great. You want to know something though?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, it sucks to say it. I would love for it to go theatrical.
Yeah.
It's probably going to release on like a Paramount Plus or something like that. I mean,
yeah,
it probably will, or a Netflix. I mean, a Netflix release. It's nice to go into the theater, and yes, definitely like for the experience, of course.
Yeah.
But a Netflix release for Good Burger 2, listen up, bro. I'm all aboard. Like I have my kids out to a party at my house. I'll throw a burger party, have a burger bar in my kitchen, and we'll have a blast with that shit. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. I mean, it's just the nostalgia alone. It's gonna be great. You wanna know what's interesting? Like we're talking about, like another throwback was that '70s show. And recently they had that. I saw you were doing the reviews. I had just watched the whole thing. And listen, this is the thing. Are you a huge that '70s show fan?
I was.
I was huge, man. I still to this day watch it like every now and then. I'll still watch. There's a couple shows that I have, and I'll just give them to you, that I watch consistently, like before I go to sleep. Lately, I've been on Seinfeld. I watched every single Seinfeld for the last like 2 months straight. I watched Seinfeld on Netflix. But I also watch The Office. I watch that '70s show. I watch Malcolm in the Middle. And those are the shows and George Lopez. That's another one that I watch when I'm going to sleep and shit. I stay watching it. But I was watching that '70s show, and I know every single episode, frontwards, backwards, everything that happens. I love that it's so damn good. The characters are so damn good. So I was super excited for that '90s show. But I gotta be honest, man, it missed the mark, yo. It was funny.
Agreed.
Like, people saying it's a great show. I mean, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to compare it. But at the end of the day, there's nothing left to do but compare it. The parts where I was really enjoying were the parts where the original cast were coming back, man. It was like Fez was great. Like, he's always great. The kid that's playing Fez, the Asian guy, like it's just not funny to me, man. It's like he's not funny the same way. Like or even in a new way. I don't know if it's just because I'm older and I just don't get things. I don't think so. I'm goofy as
Yeah,
shit. Like, I'm still laughing at Good Burger.
yeah.
But
I
I don't
yeah.
know.
We talked about it as a cast in our last episode, and we kind of just figured, all right, maybe it's because we're older and because canonically, we're actually closer Red and Kitty's ages
Oh yeah, Red and Kitty are
than
great.
we were. Oh my God, they're hysterical. But I
Yeah.
just want to read this. Like we have a text chat for our cast for Movie Theater Time Machine, and this is just a brief bit of what we said, for the fans and for you. So I binged the 90s show last night. It's missing one thing, the 90s. But
Yeah,
two,
that too.
yeah,
That too.
yeah, it's here. So expect from me that the kids, anybody expect that the kids are 15? The only thing about it was that they're smoking pot because in 1995, there were people who were smoking weed.
Yeah.
And my response to it is, well, it's not all true. It seems like at some points the writers glanced at a Wikipedia. And it just
Bro.
there's the in that show, Red and Kitty are funny as hell.
Yeah.
And no matter what, Tommy Chung as Leo is just hysterical.
It's unreal.
Like he didn't
I
even
love
have
it,
like
man.
as I said, comedy would not say they just in the second episode where like she had to like get clerks from a blockbuster or
Yeah.
something. And they go to Leo's house and he's like, hey, I have a copy for you. And it's like, I've been watching The Real World. If that's the real world, what the hell is all this?
All this, yeah.
I was on a stationary bike. I almost fell off it. I'm like, that was so well delivered.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you get
he's
to the
great, man.
kids and the kids are delivering, yeah, and there's that little, the Asian kid as Fez. It's like, yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
bored.
Like, okay,
I'm
there's
fucking
the
bored.
Kelso, there's the Jackie, there's Hyde.
Yeah, but they're not. But the thing is, and I'm not saying that they have to be like
Yeah,
their other characters. You could definitely tell what they're trying to
yeah,
establish, but
yeah.
it's like I feel like they didn't have enough personality with their characters, man. I don't
Yeah,
know. And what you
that's
just said about the 90s,
yeah,
like we're talking now,
yeah,
such a giant time. Even with that 70s show, it was one of the things that they really established when they went to see Star Wars. They were
right.
always watching the different, it was like incorporated in the time
Yeah,
period. But
yeah,
this one was really missed in the night. Like you could have been watching that shit now and it would have been like, oh, okay, we're just pretty much the same stuff, or
yeah.
whatever. Like nothing
And
was like put
yeah,
together well. I
and
don't
it
know. I just
was
wasn't feeling it that well, man.
there's
I'm
still a
not gonna
lot of
lie.
cool and there's a lot of it. I mean, like I kind of feel like when you was like watching the ninth season of Scrubs. Like,
I never
you
watched
the
Scrubs.
old
Yeah.
cast come in and like Scrubs was great. It was one of my favorite sitcoms, hands down.
Damn.
But Scrubs ninth season when they're introducing new characters and it was supposed to be the older characters would fade away.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you watch these new people. I'm like, okay, when are the other people going to come back?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Where
You ain't trying
where
to.
is Zach Braff? Okay, Zach Braff's not here. Okay, where's Donald Faison? And I watched the 90s show and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for the cameos. Like the very first episode, you see Eric and Donna. You're like, okay, this is good. And
Right.
the girl comes in, and then you have, Michael and Jackie come in, and it's even funnier because Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are married in reality.
Yeah.
So it's
Real
like
life.
that. It's like okay, like that's that. They're doing just that one little bit, but the funniest scene out of all of that is Eric turns to his kid and says she's going to put a foot up her ass,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
it just peels back, and you just see Red sitting there just smiling.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm so proud of you, and like and it's just like okay, that's you're waiting for that, but I think you're right. It missed the mark on so many levels.
It did.
You can't do that, but like I even noticed this, and I was talking to some people at work about it, and we all kind of had the same feeling, like it was missing something. But you can't do this because they did something called the '80s show.
Yeah, I know. I saw that, and
Same
that didn't pick
idea.
up at all.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
And it didn't work, and you can't have lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
That
hard.
hits that, and it's just like you try to rekindle that, and if you had it so they were there today, that
That's what I'm
you know,
saying.
like
Yeah, if
who they were today, and like, okay, maybe, they all go back and they all happen to run into each other at a reunion.
and
They
what
haven't seen
the
each other in a while.
for me, the part that was funny, like there was a couple times that I laughed, and I watched the whole thing already.
Yeah.
It was a couple times that I laughed, and I was like, and one of the ones that stand out the most for me was when Fez was in the circle, and
Yeah.
when Fez and his arch enemy, the guy,
Yeah.
the jeweler
Yeah.
from the 70 show,
Yeah.
when they were going at it, I was laughing.
Yeah.
When Fez was in a circle and he was talking about his problems with his girl and stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh, I miss my old people," and then it panned, and it went to Eric, and immediately when it went to Eric, and Eric was like, he was like, "Oh, from smoking, am I here?" He's like, "Wait a minute, then am I all alone? Hello?" Like these guys are fucking great, man. And then it pans to Jackie, and Jackie's laughing all goofy because she's high, and then she's laughing crazy. She's eating a cookie, and she's like, "I completely forgot what I was laughing at."
I
Like
haven't caught up with it
everything
yet, but I
was
gotta see that.
funny, man. Did you finish it?
No, I haven't finished it yet. I've got a couple episodes in.
It's
But
a flash. It's a
yeah.
flashback. Yeah, he flashes back to like when they were all sitting at the circle, but it just reminded me because, like I said, I've watched that 70s. I haven't watched it in like a couple months or whatever.
Yeah.
But because all that shit would hide and they took it off of Netflix. I'm fucking so tired of everybody doing stuff. But
Yeah.
I literally like remember like every time they were in the circle, like the conversation, especially Kelso, man.
Yeah.
Like Ashton Kutcher in that show. Everybody in the show was phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
everybody had their own role. Jackie, Hyde, Donna,
Yeah.
everybody was good. It was funny. Their characters were good. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Oh,
Kelso,
wholeheartedly.
bro.
Yeah.
The one where they went to jail when they had when they were going to the party and they went to jail, and then Kelso had the one phone call and he called Jackie, and Jackie's like, "Yeah, when you get out, I'm gonna make love to you," and he's like, "All right," and he's just sitting there and he's laughing to himself, and he's like, "You idiot, you spent the quarter." And then he turned around, he picked up a spoon. He said, "All right, somebody give me the spoon. I'm gonna dig my way out of here." Fucking idiot.
Yeah, you can't. You can't have lightning in a bottle twice, man.
Nah,
you
man.
can't have that because that show
so
is
good.
great. I gotta go check that out now again. I gotta do it from the beginning.
That 70s show, I'm telling you right now, you'll watch the whole thing and you'll be into it like you just watched it for the first time. I literally watch it all the time. The controversy between Eric and Donna, you want to watch, you want to see what happens. They have a good love story. Jackie and Kelso when he's cheating on her with Eric's sister. It's like everybody's character had a story. It's one of those things where it's like everybody's character has a story that you want to see. It's not you're not on a side story where you're like, "Oh, man, I can't wait to get to the main story." It's like, yeah, I want to see what happened with them. Oh no, I want to see what happened with them. Even Eric's sister when Lori came. Oh man, it's just
one of my favorite bits from the old show was like my wife and I quote this every now and then, and Red and Eric forget Kitty's birthday.
Oh,
and
man,
then they walk into their bedroom at midnight with like a funnel and balloons or something. and and Red looks like, "We got you this funnel because you like pouring things." Like,
Red was fucking great, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, listen here. Here's another good part too. He's like, he said, he said he got home. Eric had like backed into like a pole or something like that or whatever, and it was a little scratch in the car. And he said, and Red just comes. He gets home and he's scared. He doesn't want anybody to find out. And Red just literally he just walks. He doesn't even look at the car. He's not by the car at all. He just walks past the car outside the garage, and he stops and turns around. "How'd you scratch the car, Eric?"
My dad used to do stuff like that.
I didn't even look at it.
Yeah, my dad used to do stuff like that. It's what I see. I got into one car accident. I bent my license plate in the front a little bit, and I parked the car, and I did that. And he just came down, and he came in there, and he sat next to me on the couch, and he goes, "What did you hit?"
Yeah,
I
bro,
couldn't stop laughing, and I'm like,
so funny, man. When they were high and they were in there, and he went upstairs to get the stuff, and they're talking
yeah,
to Kitty and what's it called? And
yeah.
they're going back and forth, and the whole room in the background is moving. And yo, it's fucking classic, bro. They tried to recreate it, but you just can't do it, man.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like
Yeah, I
you
think
can
they
watch
did it
that
with, like,
70s show
Donkey Kong
now.
or something. Yeah.
You can watch that 70s show now and just be like, listen, man, like I don't even know this is what you're trying to recreate. Oh, yeah, you guys have failed.
Yeah.
But
No.
other shows
Yeah.
do it so well because yo, Fuller House was great, man.
Yeah.
Fuller House was great.
I didn't catch it at all.
It was really good.
Yeah. So we're gonna roll here now, right? So I'm gonna
Awesome.
toss this to you. I want you to get every plug in creation.
Sure, man.
You
Hey,
go
listen,
show, you go right ahead because
that's
everybody's
awesome.
joining you so far. So you
Hey,
go,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. Yo, yeah,
Yeah.
we're at the Beeline Web Show. As you can see, Nick, thank you so much for rocking the gear there. Man, it's definitely looking great on you. I
Yeah.
watched the Beeline, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just one of the others you can get on the store. We got actually a lot more. We actually got some updated logos and stuff like that. But guys, check me out I'm on the Beeline Web Show. We got some really exciting news coming soon. I don't know when I can release it, but it's very, very exciting coming soon. But it's on YouTube, the Beeline Web Show. Just type that in the search bar, and I definitely pop up at this point. Great guests, great cast. We actually had Leo from That 70s Show, Tommy Chong. We did a amazing interview with him.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was so great, man. It was really fun talking with him and
Yeah.
getting to know him, talking to him about one of my favorite episodes with Leo was the Canada episode where he was talking to the bounty and said, "So what are you doing in Canada? So what are you doing in Canada?" But it was great. It was like we have so many great guests. Nick is on there. We had an amazing time on his show. But yeah, check us out. Follow us. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, everything. Just type in the Beeline Web Show. Trust me, we popping up for you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
And I will be on some Sunday on a live episode.
Live on the line. And like Nick said, hey, Nick, I gotta, because you stole it from me. I gotta try to hit it. Nick was referring to the Beeline Entertainment, baby. That's where you come on if you're an artist or a musician or anybody, you want to show off your talent. You gotta come on so you can show off. That's right, yo. Listen, that's what we doing over there. We big. You feel I'm a loud ass dude.
And I stole a little bit, but it's in tribute.
It's beautiful, yeah. I love
it's in tribute, man, because I love your show.
Thank you, man.
I love your stuff. I love your style, man. Everything about it. And I just
thank you, bro.
Come on again. And at some point you're gonna come back on again.
Yes, please. I love this, man. Like this
back into the theater.
Yes,
and
sir.
We're gonna do another show down the line.
Definitely.
The Time Machine. This has been the Lobby Show, where we have a lot here. You've seen it on YouTube. You've seen us there everywhere. Remember, movietheatertimemachine.com. Where we go ahead and have everything you need, every episode, everywhere it needs to be. Our old stuff with Max and everywhere else we can be. So you have fun and be good and take care of yourselves, but don't be too good.